During the last Democratic debate, Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts went after Mayor Pete Buttigieg, who runs some small town in the Midwest, and his appeal to the Wall Street wing of the Democratic Party. Watch this.
So the mayor just recently had a fundraiser that was held in a wine cave full of crystals and served $900 a bottle wine. Billionaires in wine caves should not pick the next president of the United States.
Mr. Mayor, this is the problem with issuing purity tests you cannot yourself pass. Senator, your net worth is 100 times mine. We need the support from everybody who is committed to helping us defeat Donald Trump.
I do not sell access to my time. I don't do call time with millionaires and billionaires.
Sorry, as of when, Senator?
I don't meet behind closed doors with big dollar donors.
So, Senator, your presidential campaign right now, as we speak, is funded in part by money you transferred, having raised it at those exact same big-ticket fundraisers you now denounce.
Man, it's hard to know who to root for. I mean, on the one hand, Buttigieg is a shill for creepy finance types. There's no doubt about that. And it's disgusting. On the other hand, Elizabeth Warren is like a full-blown hypocrite. Full-blown. Lobbing boulders from a home made of very thin glass. According to the Hill newspaper, President Obama himself has been going around speaking to top Democratic Party donors, reassuring them that she doesn't really mean it. Don't be put off by her attacks on the rich. Everything will be cool. And while Warren may have knocked Buttigieg's $900 wines, her own campaign has held fundraisers at restaurants where the most expensive bottle of wine goes for $6,600. Oh, how's that for a wine cave? Howie Carr is a radio host and the author of What Really Happened. He joins us tonight. Howie, thanks so much for coming on. So it sounds like she's got her own wine caves.
Yeah, she does. And as you said, people who live in glass wine caves shouldn't throw stones at other people. You know, when she was busted on having these parties just last year, she said her campaign said, well, you know, they were only serving wine that was worth $49 a bottle. And you know, this is how out of touch she is. I would say most people would think that's pretty pricey for a bottle of wine, but she's totally tone deaf to the way Americans live. Most Americans live. When she first ran for the Senate, she was out exhorting her base to come out, and she said, please go out and speak to the people behind you at the wine shop. At the cheese shop. I'm getting the cheese shop and the wine shop mixed up. Tucker, do you go to cheese shops?
If there was, I mean, I'll be totally honest, I love the fromage, so if there was one near me, I would definitely go. There isn't. but anyway, that's not the first thing that would come to mind. I do love the cheese, though. But let me ask you, as an expert on Elizabeth Warren, all things Elizabeth Warren, as someone from the Commonwealth yourself, how'd she get so rich? Where'd all the money come from? You saw Buttigieg say you're worth 100 times what I'm worth. How?
Well, this is another thing. You know, she claims she's from the jagged or ragged edge of the middle class, depending on where she is. And there was just yet another puff piece about her in the Boston Globe today. They talked to her brothers, who are all older than her. And it turns out that one of her brothers was angry when she began calling her own father a janitor. I mean, her own brother was angry about it. But what happened was, when she first ran for the Senate in 2012, she said, oh, I had 2 or 3, a few cases here and there, and that's all. And then she, on the campaign trail, even earlier this year, she'd been saying, I was a lawyer in private practice for about 40 minutes. I think that was the exact time. And it turns out now, now that, it's pretty clear that other candidates are doing opposition research on her, she admitted she did 56 cases where she made $2 million. $2 million. I mean, that's not a huge amount of money for a lawyer over 20, 30 years. But again, she's not the hard scrabble up from poverty lawyer that she claims to be. It's just everything about her is phony, and she seems to think she can get away with this, whether it's talking about her son going to private school when he didn't, and being fired from the public teaching job, which she didn't. She was after Bloomberg last week. She wanted him to release all the women who sued his company for various forms of sexual harassment from their non-disclosure agreement. She said we needed transparency. Well, Tucker, don't you think you and I and everybody else needs to see her employment applications from Harvard and the University of Pennsylvania law schools so we can see whether or not she really did apply, claiming to be a Native American?
I think we know the answer. Thanks in part to your great reporting on that. Your tenacious, your bulldog reporting on that, for which you've received too little credit. Howie Carr, thanks for joining us tonight.
Merry Christmas, Tucker.